Why did you need to go through such a gruesome experience?
Need is not the word we would choose. Jesus chose this experience. He chose this initiation. In order to show that death is not real. Jesus chose this initiation. At any point, because he too had free will, you see, he could have said no. I decline. I'll take a pass. Come back another time. Get me out of here. This is not the choice he made. And so, being the attendant Archangel, the Father, the Source, moved to compassion, sent guardians and guides, and we came as well. Now Jesus is most familiar with the archangels. Since birth, he could see us, sense our presence, be with us, play with us. He did not forget or lose the ability to see us, to be with us, ever. We were always present with him, and particularly that night, as he chose to go through this initiation of knowing who he was, and yet not feeling connected to the Father. That was the most excruciating. And we offered him the chalice, filled with the tears of God. We came to him as the fire of God, carrying the water of God. And Jesus passed from the place where the opposites existed. He passed through that paradox. And that passage was excruciating. And he moved from the place of standing steadfast in faith and trust, even though he could not feel the presence of the Father. He agreed to that experience, to undergo that experience as a human. Having the memory of the connection to Source, and yet not experiencing the connection. Understand that?
Yes. And he trusted his faith and moved forth from there.
Yes.
And that's why he yelled, "Why have you forsaken me?" on the cross.
Yes.
Because he couldn't physically feel the grace.
Yes.
He knew, but he didn't feel.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's the dark night of the soul, the knowing, but lack of feeling.
Yes. And moving through that dark place in faith and trust.
Knowing that what was before is truth.
Knowing that connection to Source is true.
Yes.
Always, in all circumstances.
Whether we feel it or not.
Yes. And so we brought to Jesus the chalice. We use the tears to wash away the blood. We use the tears to bring him some small comfort. To wet his brow. To minister to him in the absence of his fellow human apostles. Until he fell into an agitated and dreamless sleep. And was awoken by the noise of the soldiers' metal armor clanking, footsteps